Hi everyone, my name is Lisa Christian of the Lisa Christian Atelier brand. On today's episode of Mastering the Art of Garment Construction, we'll be looking at a topic I refer to as flares. There are actually different degrees of flares, but for today's episode, I'll be considering two. For the second type of flare, it's called the 180 degrees flare. This kind of flare, assuming this is my piece of fabric, I come to one edge of the fabric or paper. I'm actually using a paper right now, and I fold it into half this way to get a triangular pattern. I take, say, assuming my waist size is 30 as well, I take, say, 7 7 7 7. I have an arc here. I measure the arc. This gives me 5.5 times 2, because if I open this, I'm having a flare in two parts. So 5.5 times 2, that's about 11 in two places, because this will become the front piece and the other will become the back piece. That will give me 22. Remember, my waist size is 30, so that's obviously not enough. What do I do? So I increase it to, say, 10 10 10 10. I measure this arc that I have here. This gives me 8. 8 times 2 is 16. So that's actually beautiful anyways, because this is 16, and by the time I cut the back piece, I'll be having 16 plus 16, that's 32, and my waist size is actually 30. So I can use the other 2 inches as my zip allowance. This forms the waistline, and from here to here will form the length of the skirt. So this is 9, this is 9, and this is 9, and this is 9. So what do? I cut my skirt pattern in this form. So this forms my waist line, and this forms the length of my skirt. So this is just the piece for the front. So to get the back piece, we'll fold our fabric just the same way we folded to generate the first pattern, and we'll place the first pattern on this. This is, we're looking out for 32. Remember, we got 16 here, and my waist size is 30, not 32. So I use this, I place it on this piece, and I create space for the zip allowance. So here to here, it could be 1.5 or whatever. I just create this space as zip allowance, while this is the waistline for the back, and I cut it same way. Whatever is left would form the seam allowance. Remember, we had excess here, so we'll use that excess and add up as the seam allowance. Why the excess on this back piece becomes the zip allowance. Cut. This is the front piece, while this is the back piece. You can see this is the back piece because it has extra, while this is the front piece. While this is the front piece, this is the back piece. So what do I do at this point? I open up this back piece. Remember, our zipper allowance was somewhere around here, say 1.5 or 1 inch, depends on what you're comfortable with. I pin this point while sewing. So this forms my back piece. This is the back piece for my flare. Here is going to consist the zip, and while this is the front piece. Then I match this like this. This is the middle point. So I must ensure that If my waist is 30, means this front has to be 15 and the back has to be 15. Whatever is left will be the seam allowance on both. There are scenarios where you want to achieve this kind of lay with your Ankara fabric. Ankara fabric is usually by 45 degrees. It's usually by 45 inches length. And you cannot achieve this because of the length of the fabric by the time you fold it in four. What do I encourage you to do? I encourage you to cut out two portions of this. By this I mean you're having this in four places, two for this skirt, two for this skirt, and you are merging them to get four pieces to create this. But when doing that, you also consider the waistline. That means since this was 30 inches, we'll work with 15 here. Means that this would now be 7.5 waistline. 7.5 waistline, that's 15. Then I'll also have 7.5 waistline, 7.5 waistline, giving me 15 in this and 15 in that. That's 30. So I can join them by the edges. So that gives me this same kind of lay. But in this case, I am managing my fabric. Someone asked that question, and I hope this is given the answer. While doing that, you also consider that you need extra 3 inches or extra 2 inches for your zip allowance.